can't come now. Nice to see you. Thank you for my hug.
Thank you.
Renee, this is Nekama?
That's nice.
Nechama.
Nechama.
Those were the days.
There's nothing like getting a hug on the bema.
There's nothing like a person who can't wait to see you.
Yeah. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
We are so excited for our pre-game Hanukkah. We'll be starting here tonight, and then the 25th will be the first night of Hanukkah, but we're going to celebrate with songs, if you go into the other room, with lighting the Chanukah and eating wonderful Hanukkah foods and playing with dreidels. So welcome. We're going to begin in song. If everyone has their song sheet, that we're right outside on the table.
So our first song is in the top left, Sevivon. Maybe you remember, Sevivon is the word for dreidel in Hebrew. Dreidel is not a Hebrew word, it's actually a Yiddish word. So a Sevivon, and then sov, sov, sov is spin, spin, spin. And I don't know if you're going to do any interpretive dancing.
I was not going to do interpretive dancing tonight.
So, okay. All right. Sometimes it happens over here. But we begin. Sevivon.
Would you like me to do interpretive?
Whatever you want.
Sevivon, sov, 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 Chanukah hu hatov, Chanukah hu hatov, Sevivon, sov, 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 Ag simcha hu la'am,
Nes gadol haya sham, Nes gadol haya sham, Ag simcha hu la'am, Chanukah holiday, with the dreidels we shall play. When they spin and turn some more, watch them drop to the floor. Our next song is also the same theme of the dreidel, and this is the one that I think everyone knows in the United States. This is the one you hear on the radio. I have a little dreidel, I made it out of clay, and when it's dry and ready, oh dreidel I shall play. Oh dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay, and when it's dry and ready, oh dreidel I shall play. It has a lovely body with legs so short and thin, and when it gets all tired, it drops and then I win. Oh dreidel, 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 with legs so short and thin. Oh dreidel, 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 it drops and then I win. My dreidel's always playful, it loves to dance and spin. A happy game of dreidel, come play now, let's begin. Oh dreidel, 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 it loves to dance and spin. Oh dreidel, 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 come play now, let's begin. One person spins the dreidel, and when the spinning's through, the dreidel drops with one side up and tells you what to do. Nun means you get nothing, Gimel means you win, Hey means you get half the pot, and Shin you put one in.
I never knew about that last verse.
I the last verse is very helpful.
Very helpful.
Now this is the hardest.
So we're going to turn. We're going to turn in our prayer books to the blessings for Hanukkah, which are found on page 572.
I always feel like, Paul Revere here, with the British are coming.
One if by night,
Right.
two if by sea.
So we're going to begin with the blessings, and we're going to treat this as if it's the first night with all three prayers.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehavik ner shel Chanukah. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asa nisim lavoteinu bayamim ha'adim b'azman hazeh. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Shehechianu, v'kiyamanu, v'higianu, lazman hazeh.
I'm so glad it's the first night tonight. That was definitely Shehechianu when that goes right. Sometimes you light it and they make the candle fall out. There's all sorts of things that can happen.
Well, that was fabulous.
Thank you. Thank you.
Lots of practice with this
23 years.
Chanukah.
Yeah, 23 years.
We turn in our prayer books to page 120 to light the Shabbos candles. And we invite forward at this time Nancy and Peter Zaslow.
Are they in the kitchen? Nancy and Peter? Okay, Ann. Thank you.
I could do my interpretive dance.
We did notice tonight on the rabbi's sweater, there are 4 stars on one side and 4 stars on the other. Does anyone know why that might be?
Yes.
What's the answer, Sam? 8 nights.
8 nights.
Beautiful. Peter, come up. Peter. Nancy, here we go. Come on up. They're working. Thank you, Ann.
Reading?
Yep, you're reading.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we be our lives give light to all who behold us. As this brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light.
I like this. We say together, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu l'hadlik ner shel Shabbat. Hang on, I don't know what holiday it is. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu l'hadlik ner shel Shabbat. We're going to turn over to page 122. You guys want to hold up the cup? And we're going to join together in the Kiddush. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho, v'ahava uvratzon hilhilanu, zikaron l'maaseh v'reishit, ki hu yom tehila lemikra'ei kodesh, zecher l'tziat mitzrayim, ki vanu v'acharta, v'tanu kidashta mikohanim, v'shabbat kodshecha, be'ahava uvratzon inhaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, mekadosh ha-Shabbat. Amen. L'chaim. And thank you for this amazing dinner that you helped orchestrate.
Liz Miller, thank you.
And Liz also. And everyone, all the other volunteers. All the volunteers. Thank you.
All the other volunteers will be called up to do the blessing before and after the reading of Torah. We continue on page 146 with the Baruch Hu as we rise.
Lie, 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 lie. Everyone try that. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Sing that. Lie, 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 lie. Barechu et Adonai HaMevorach. Together. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Lie, lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie.
We read together in the English on the top of page 151. As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. On the next page, we find the words to the Shema, the watchword of our faith.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
Please be seated.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ושוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם להיות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך למען תזכרו עשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני
Adonai Elohechem. So Chanukah, which means rededication, does not appear in the Torah anywhere. It does not appear in any of our writings until we get to the Talmud. And there's a discussion in the Talmud between two rabbis who we know very well, Hillel and Shammai, and they discuss which way we should light the Hanukkah. Hillel says, let's start with Shammai. Shammai says that we put all the candles in the first night, and then each night we take a candle away, so that we're getting rid of light. Hillel, who's usually the winner in these debates, says that we would put the light in one for every night so that the light grows. Hanukkah comes at the darkest time of year. And so it's incredibly beautiful when we light our Chanukiah and see the fullness of the flame. In one of my synagogues, we started from the bima. Everyone had a little candle. And in a room that was totally dark with glass windows, you could see everyone reflected, we started from the bima and went down to the first row with our candles, and then watched the light spread all the way back and reflected in the windows. It was the most magnificent thing to see. And everyone just stayed silent, looking at the light as it grew and grew and grew and grew. When we light our lights, it reminds us that we're part of something bigger. That as we light our own lights in our home, we recognize that people all over the world are also lighting their Chanukiah, and that we're part of a very strong heritage. So may we continue to light the lights and bring light into our world. We continue on page 158 with Mi Chamocha.
This Mi Chamocha is written to the prayer of Ma'ot Tzur, same melody. Mi Chamocha, Ma'ilim Adonai, Mi Chamocha, Nedar B'Kodesh, Norat Hilot, Osefele, Adonai Yimloch, Le'olam Va'ed, Adonai Yimloch, Le'olam Va'ed.
On page 161, actually, on this entire two-section prayers, we find the Hashkivenu prayer that traditionally was said before one went to sleep at night. The rabbis believed that sleep was 1/60th of death, and so they said to the one who creates all, please take my soul into your hands for keeping and return it to me in the morning, and I will say a blessing. So there's one for evening, which is Hashkivenu. Moda'ani or Moda'ani are the morning prayers. At the bottom of page 161, we read in the English together. Give us a place to rest, Adonai our God. Bring us into shelter in the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. For with you are the true protection and safety, and in your presence are acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Yerushalayim and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, hapurei sukat shalom,
Aleinu.
v'al kol amo Yisrael, v'al Yerushalayim. On page 164, we rise for the tefillah, the prayer.
Adonai, sefer ufi agi tehilatecha. Adonai, open my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, v'Elohei v'imotenu. Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor, V'Hanara, Elion, Gomel Chasedim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zoher Chesed Avot V'Imahot, Mevigu Enehem, Leman Shemo V'Yahava, Melech Ozer Moshe Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Abraham, Bezrat Sarah, Atah Gimon Olam Adonai, כל אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים דחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סמיך נופלים דופק עולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומידה מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש השם הקדוש וקדושים היום יהלוך הסלע, ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Please keep your hand right on that page, and we turn to an insert to the Amidah, which is found on page 556. We'll make sure there's enough time for turning. Al hanisim ve'al haporchan ve'al hagvurot al hatshuvot ve'al hamelchamot she'asita lavotenu ve'imotenu bayamim hahem bazman hazeh. We read together. We thank you for the miracles, for the redemption, for the mighty deeds and saving acts brought about by you, and for the wars which you waged for our ancestors in the days of old at this season. We turn back. I'm going to ask everyone to please sit down. And in these moments of silent reflection, please listen to your heart, your head, or your soul, and whatever it's asking you of this time.
Say shalom b'ramah, v'yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
We turn to page 362 for Seder Kriyat HaTorah, the service for the reading of Torah. Please rise.
Will all our young people join us up here? Susharim Roshechem, V'chinasu Pitchei Olam, Ve'yavo Melech HaKavod.
Yeah, you too. It's my favorite puppy. It's almost time to eat.
Melech HaKavod, Adonai Tzvaot, Melech HaKavod, Selah, Melech HaKavod, Selah, Shema Yisrael, Adonai חזק ואהוב, יכול בשמיים ובארץ, יכול בשמיים ובארץ. לך אדוני המלאכה, עביד נשיא לכל ראש. על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים העולם עומד. על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים העולם עומד. על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים. על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים. והערנו בתורתך ונאמץ בינו מצוותיך ויחד לבבנו לאהבה וליראה את שמך. לעוני ראש לעולם חיים, לעוני ראש לעולם חיים. והערנו בתורתך ודבק ליבנו במצוותיך ויחד לבבנו לאהבה וליראה את שמך. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. Please be seated. Before we call up all the people who participated in setting up the dinner, which looks magnificent, I'd like to turn you to page 244 in your read the Torah. I did surveillance. We are at Parasha Vayeshev, and we begin to talk about the story of Jacob and how he lauds his dreams over his brothers and his parents, and how his father makes him a coat of many colors.
Joseph.
Sorry, did I say Jacob?
But Jacob's involved.
Yeah, Jacob's there. We're on page 244, and we'd like to call up for the honor of the Aliyah anyone who participated in setting up our festive meal tonight. I saw a lot of you in the kitchen.
Anyone who brought food to serve?
Yeah, this is your Torah. Oh. We have 30 sheets. We could share. Okay, we all have to share. Come close. Come on.
It's nice. All right, we're going to say the blessing together. Baruch Adonai Hambarach. Baruch Adonai Hambarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai Hambarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bahar banu mikol hamim. V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai
notain HaTorah.
Amen. וישב יעקב בארץ מגורי אביו בארץ כנען. אלה תולדות יעקב יוסף. בן 17 שנה היה ראה את אחיו בצאן והוא נער. את בני בלהה ואת בני זלפה נשי אביו. ויבא יוסף את דיבתם ראה אל אביהם מישראל. אהב את יוסף מכל בניו, כי בן זקונים הוא לו, ועשה לו כתונת פסים.
Yasher Koach. Thank you.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai, notain HaTorah.
Amen.
Yasher Kochachem.
Thank you, everybody.
Please rise as the Torah rises.
וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל על פי אדוני ביד משה. וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל על פי אדוני ביד משה. לי 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 לי
While the Torah is in front of us, we offer a mishaberach, a blessing for healing of those who are in need of healing of body, spirit, mind, and soul. The blessing is found on page 371. I'm going to share some names from our community, and then if you know anyone who is in need of any kind of healing, please state their name as my eyes meet yours. It may be a little cacophonous, but I believe that prayers work. We hold in our prayers this week Rabbi Robert Orak, Martha Branween, Jessica Knight, Niles Chopair, Judith Landau, Pam Friedman, Myra Taxa, Michael Lynch, Jane Hilson Aiello, Yvette Urado, Mary Jaros, Rabbi Leslie Bergson, Barry Bernstein, Chuck Prezan, Elizabeth Castellano, Sophia Van S., Brian Barnikowski, Marcy Gibeleno, Florence Schreiner, David Anagos, Felice Burns, Christopher Granati, and Peggy Baker. Okay. Thank you. 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 Thank you.
Sandra Goldberg.
Paul Salt, Andy Moore.
Thank you.
David Fine, Baby Heath.
We join together on page 371.
May the source of strength will bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We pray for all those anywhere on this planet who are in need of healing.
Amen.
And I think we could all include ourselves in this prayer as well. We remain standing as we return the Torah to the ark.
It is a tree of life to those who hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life to those who hold fast to it, all of its supporters are happy. Shalom, 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 shalom. It is a tree of life to those who hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life to those that hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. Shalom.
A long, 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 long. Who knows what comes next? Long time ago.
I think we better sit down. This sounds like a long,
It's not going to be a long
story.
No.
That makes it easier.
Yeah. A long, long time ago in the land of Israel, the most special place for the Jewish people was the temple in Jerusalem. The temple contained many beautiful objects, including a tall golden menorah. Unlike menorahs of today, or Chanukiahs, the menorah in the temple has 7 branches rather than 9. Instead of being lit by candles or light bulbs, this menorah burned oil. Every evening, oil would be poured in the cups that sat on top of the menorah, and the temple would be filled with a shimmering light. At the time of the Hanukkah story, a mean king named Antiochus, can you say that? Antiochus. Ruled over the land of Israel. I don't like these Jewish people, he said. They're so different from me. I don't celebrate Shabbat or read from Torah, so why should they? Antiochus was very mean. He made many new cruel rules. No more celebrating Shabbat. No more going to the temple, and no more Torah ever. He told his guards to go into the temple and make a mess. And his guards, they brought in pigs, and they killed the pigs in the temple, and they spilled the blood all over the place. And they took down the menorah, and they hammered it so it wouldn't look like a menorah anymore. And they ruined the benches, and they took the Torahs out of the ark, but we kept them safely away so that they wouldn't be touched. But everything else in the temple was destroyed. They brought muds, stones, and garbage into the temple. They broke furniture and knocked things down. They smashed the jars of oil that were used to light the temple. Antiochus and his crew made the Jews feel very sad and angry. One family by the name of Maccabee had a young son whose name was Judah. Judah said, we must stop Antiochus. Even though we're one small family and they're a huge army, we need to stop them. We must think of ways to make them leave the land of Israel. At first, Judah's followers, called the Maccabees, were afraid. Judah, they said, Antiochus has so many soldiers. His soldiers carry such big weapons and big hammers, and he uses huge elephants to fight his battles. How can we, as Jews who don't have weapons, fight against him? Judah said, if we think very hard and plan very carefully, we can defeat him. It took a long time, but the Maccabees chased Antiochus and his men out of Israel. As soon as Antiochus and his soldiers were gone, they ran to Jerusalem to clean up their temple, and boy, they found a mess. It was like 15 teenage boys were living there with, and it smelled like old sneakers. The beautiful menorah was gone. The floor was covered with trash, broken furniture, and pieces from the shattered jars of oil. But the Maccabees built a new menorah. At first, they worried that they wouldn't be able to light the Chanukah, the menorah, because there was no light. But they searched and searched until at last they found one tiny jar of oil, kazayit, the size of an olive, enough to light the menorah for just one evening. The Maccabees knew that it would be at least 8 days or more until they could clean up the temple and begin to use it again. And so they lit the menorah with the one little bit of oil they have. To their surprise, this little jar of oil lasted 8 nights, and they were able to clean up the entire temple and make it shiny and put things back where they belonged. The Jewish people could not believe their good fortune. First, the small Maccabee family were able to chase out Antiochus and his entire crew with elephants. And now, the tiny jar of oil had lasted for 8 days. The Jewish people prayed and thanked God for these miracles. And now, every year during Hanukkah, we light a Chanukah, or a menorah, for 8 days to remember the miracles that happened long ago. And when we light our Chanukah, we put it in our windows so that everyone can see. Last year, Cantor and I were in Spring Lake, and I felt like Taylor Swift because there were such a reception, and there were lights, and there were people who wanted to meet us, and there was a band playing, and it was like we came into town, and hoo-hoo, the entire town was out there. And in every window, in every store in town, was a lit Chanukah. And every child had a dreidel and played with gelt. They had never played dreidel before. And they had big, puffy sufganiot filled with jelly to the brim. So now, if you have time this year, please come out to one of our 3 Chanukah lightings. Each one is special and different, but we need to keep the lights of the Chanukah lit to light our way in the darkness. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Rabbi. So if you could go back to your song sheets, we're going to sing 2 songs. And we've been practicing these in religious schools, so I know a lot of the kids are going to know them. So the first one we're going to do is Ocho Candelicas. And this is from a time that the Jews lived in Spain and Portugal, and they developed a special language called Ladino or Judeo-Espanol. And there are really thousands of Jewish Ladino songs from that time. So this is one of them. So it sounds almost like Spanish, but you'll hear it's just a little different. Hanukkah linda está aquí, 8 candelas para mí. Hanukkah linda está aquí, 8 candelas para mí. Oh, let's count. Una candelica, 2 candelicas, 3 candelicas, 4 candelicas, 5 candelicas, 6 candelicas, 7 candelicas, 8 candelas para mí. Mucha fiesta vou fazer, por alegrias e prazer. Mucha fiesta vou fazer, por alegrias e prazer. Oh, una candelica, 2 candelicas, 3 candelicas, cuatro candelicas, cinco candelicas, seis candelicas, siete candelicas, ocho candelas para mí. Los pastelicos voy a comer con almendricas y la miel. Los pastelicos voy a comer con almendricas y la miel. Oh, you ready? Una candelica, dos candelicas, tres candelicas, cuatro candelicas, cinco candelicas, seis candelicas, siete candelicas, ocho candelas para mí. And now, you love that song? I know I love that song too. Now we're going to sing another song called Not by Might and Not by Power. And the reason we sing this song is it's from the Haftarah that you read during the time of Chanukah, from Zechariah, or we say in English, Zechariah. So it's on the back of the page. Not by might. Not by might and not by power, but by spirit alone, Ruach, shall we all live in peace. I want a better Ruach, okay? Not by might and not by power, but by spirit alone, Ruach, shall we all live in peace. That was much better. The children sing, la-da-dee-da, the children dream, ooh, and their tears may fall, but we'll hear them call, and another song will rise, and another song will rise, and another song will rise. Not by might and not by power, but by spirit alone, shall we all live in peace. One more chance to do that. Not by might and not by power, but by spirit alone, shall we all live in peace. Not by might, not by might, not by power. Shalom.
We invite our president, Dean Ross, up for some announcements.
Shabbat Shalom. My name is Dean Ross, President of Monmouth Reformed Temple, and I welcome you this evening and also live stream. You're wondering, am I wearing a pajama top? And I am.
That's wonderful, Dean. You can go straight home and go to sleep. That's great.
My daughter, we have a tradition. My daughter always orders pajamas for the whole family, Hanukkah pajamas. So we have a photo up, so I wanted to show it off. Please save the date for Martin Luther King Justice Shabbat service on Friday, January 17th at 7 o'clock. It's always a great service. Both choirs sing, and it's a great service, an emotional service also. So please, if you could attend, that would be great. Nechama is this month's recipient of the Tzedakah Box Collection. Nechama, rooted in the Jewish value of Tikkun Olam, repairing the world, provides comfort and hope to communities by engaging volunteers in disaster recovery work. After Hurricane Helene, they mobilized their response team immediately, and they started with food delivery and damage assessment in Florida, and then they developed a weeks-long presence in Asheville, North Carolina, with plans for a 6-month deployment. Tonight's dessert table is co-sponsored by Betty Furtick in memory of her husband, Mark. If you are celebrating a special occasion or observing a loved one's yard site, we hope you will consider sponsoring an oneg to honor this occasion, please contact the office if you have any interest for more information. MRT would love for more people to invest in our mission of connecting as a Jewish community. We welcome your investment of time as well as donations to help us grow. For information on joining our MRT family or making a donation, please contact our Rabbi, Renee, Cantor Clissold, or Jordan in the office. Shabbat Shalom, Happy Hanukkah.
Thank you.
I hope you get much use out of those pajamas when you go on your family cruise.
I just wanted to say that not only will we have joint choirs that night and Rabbi and Reverend Janet Jones,
Yep.
but we're going to have a special musical guest, and that's Dan Kahn that night, and he's coming in, so I'm excited about that. And I will be on a cruise then, so I'll be thinking of you. The second thing I want to say is when you go into the dinner tonight, we have visitors here tonight who aren't here with anybody. So please greet everybody, make everybody feel welcome, and invite people to sit with you because that's a really important thing that we need to remember to do at this time of year especially.
Thank you. We turn to Aleinu on page 586 as we rise.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שכבודו משמיים ויוצא לארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובהי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד. אנחנו קוראים ומשחווים ומודים, לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
We turn to page 593. The light of life is a finite flame. Like the Shabbat candles, life is kindled, it burns, it glows, it is radiant with warmth and beauty. But soon it fades, its substance is consumed, and it is no more. In light we see, in light we are seen. The flames dance, and our life burns down in gutters. There is an end to the flames. We see no more and are no more seen. Yet we do not despair, for we are more than memory. Sorry about that. For we are more than a memory slowly fading into the darkness. With our life, we give life. Something of us can never die. We move in the eternal cycle of darkness and death, of light and of life. We remember those in the period of Shloshim, Kent Friedman, and Joe Mamora. And we recall those whose yahrzeit falls this week. Emmanuel Baruch, Raymond Becker, Frank Beaujeu, Mark Ferdig, Harry Field, Martin Gale, George Glasser, Bobby Goldstein, Molly Grevitz, Sylvia Katz, Richard Klein, Edward Klein, David Lane, Herbert Leifman, David Lewis, Nettie Morse, Clara Newman, Ace A. Orange, Ida Reisner, Samuel Rifkin, Belle Halpern Schmetzel, Lois Baker Smith, Herbert Tansman, Beth Tansman, and Ann Weissman. I'm going to ask everyone to please rise, and if you have someone that you would like to mention at this time, please do as my eyes meet yours. Thank you. Thank you.
Fred Burdick.
Thank you.
Chief Stephen Foote.
Thank you.
Harold Ostrov.
Thank you. As we remember all these whose name we mentioned, we remember that they are a part of the foundation upon which we stand. For some of us, we remember what it was to be like in their presence, to listen to their voice, to feel their hug, to sit next to them. And for others, we remember those in our own families whose lives have been lost, but whose legacy still remains. On page 598, we join together in the ancient Aramaic words of the mourner's Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yikadash shemei Rabbah, v'yamad divrach hirtei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chaye echon u'vyom echon, v'chaye dekol Beit Yisrael, b'agala u'vizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam umei yomaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitraman v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudisha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, da'amiran b'yama v'imru amen. Yehi shlama Rabbah min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Useh shalom b'mramav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imru amen.
Useh shalom b'mramav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imru amen.
Our final song is found on page 669, Ma'otzor. We join together.
And Sam, I didn't get any notifications or texts from anybody. Yeah, so I want to thank Sam Gunsberger for helping me do a whole retooling of the sound system tonight. And as I told Sam, if there was a problem, I would hear it. So I'm optimistic, Sam. Thank you. We join together.
Ma'otzor Yeshuati, Lechanael Mishabeach, Tikon Beit Tefilati, V'sham Toda Nizabeach, V'yitati Mareach, Mitzon HaMadeach, Azegor B'shir Mizmor, Chanukah Mizbeach, Azegor B'shir Mizmor, Chanukah Mizbeach. Rock of ages, let our song praise your saving power. You amidst the raging foes were our sheltering tower. Your Yisnei assailed us, but thy armor veiled us, and your word broke their sword when our own strength failed us, and your word broke their sword when our own strength failed us.
We'd like to say thank you again to Sisterhood and Men's Club, who have set up a brilliant, beautiful dinner inside as we welcome Hanukkah. Whoops. Be careful. Flying challah. We join together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'tei avon. Shabbat Shalom. We wish everyone a Hanukkah full of light and dedication and a beautiful and peaceful Shabbat.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
What do you think you need to do?
Here, if you want to go out for brunch sometime, I pay. You and your brother.
All right. Have at it. But nobody complains.
Your older brother. Bring some other people. From your friends from school.
Oh, he's got a tent. They would love it.
Okay, so come.
Here, the rabbi's too loud. I
It's
don't
on
hear
me.
you. Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, they're really good. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They would. Which means anyone who's watching.
The actress, right?
Yeah.
Let's go get
Who's
some
wearing
dinner.
my clothes?